Fight Week Show. Please subscribe, not now, but right now. Subscribe to the Fight Week Show. We'll see you guys on the road soon.
Yo, what's happening, man? What's going on? Fight Week Show family, man. We have a esteemed guest, a proper guest, a long-time friend of that, the African fighters, Farouk, is here with us, joining us today. Thank you so much for joining us, man. This is well overdue.
Thank you.
And I'm glad that we were able to put this together today, man. How are you?
Thank you for having me. It's my pleasure. I'm happy to be here. Looking forward to this for a while.
No. This has been well overdue, and I'm so glad that we're able to put this together on a eve. I wouldn't say eve, but it feels like an eve. Every day I feel like UFC 280 is here already. But it's a Wednesday. We're still within the fight week. How have you found the whole build up to the to this 280 fight week?
Great, especially with the clip that came out yesterday. Islam Makhachev crossing paths with Oliveira, so it's good. It's part of the promotion. I don't know if UFC are deliberately doing that now, but anyway, it's good. It looks good.
It gives us something. It gives us something to talk about, because if us as content creators, if any little thing like this,
it's news. It's content.
It's news for us. Exactly. We have to talk about it.
Yes.
We saw Oliveira landed in Abu Dhabi because the Khabib team, they were a bit worried, like, hey, what's going on with your team? You guys are taking long to get over here.
Yes.
Are you gonna miss the fight? Are you And Dubron say, you lot relax. Daddy's gonna be home soon. We're gonna and
but something to add on that. I love that approach, because for him to get Islam worried, something big. Because I don't know why you're bothered about your opponent. You are there, chill up, wait for him to come to show up. You've done your part. But
That's
them
right.
being worried about Oliveira arriving, that shows he's the boss.
This is it, I like the way Oliveira's carried himself throughout this whole build up. I'm a big Oliveira fan, and I love it. But him turning up, walking with lions, and
having fun.
He's putting on the whole chic outfit. He's looking like the chic over there.
Yes,
I like.
Sure.
So I wanted to ask you, what have you made of the whole stripping Charles Oliveira of the belt for 0.5, to the point now where he's having to defend the belt, but the belt that he doesn't have. But we know, all of us, even you, I'll assume, I want to speak for myself, but I'll assume even you still sees Charles Oliveira as a lightweight champion.
Sure. I think there's two sides to the whole thing. If you look at it from the UFC point of view, you can see they're a bit fair, because they're trying to create a balance throughout. You can understand from a business point of view. Okay, because it's going to be a problem tomorrow. Oh, Charles Oliveira wasn't stripped, and you are stripping this fighter. Is it because he's African, or is it because he's Asian? That will cause controversy later on. So I believe they are following due process. What I'm expecting from UFC now is to maintain that approach. Nothing wrong in that. He misses weight and he's a champion, which is even a bad habit, to be honest. I know it happens accidentally, some issues. Fighters go through a lot. So, but let them maintain that approach throughout. So if they do that, no issue. I think it's fair. He has a chance now to fight for the title or defend anyone. He's a champion to us. Like you said, Charles has a name, and Charles is a champion, something like that. So he's a champion.
100%. I was at the press conference, the UFC press conference with the Fight Week show. Yeah, in London. When the presser came down there, and I mean, Oliveira was looking like $1 million. They had Belal Mohammed,
Sean O'Malley,
and Sean O'Malley there, and Bisping was hosting a fantastic evening. We made a big we made a big day of it. It was wonderful event. And what I took away from that is the amount of people, the crowd, and how they still see Charles as as a champion, as a lightweight champion, accepted as it. And even UFC, the boss Dana, he's saying, yeah, I don't see Charles any other way than he's a champion.
Yeah,
But, and if it's coming from the top like that, then we've got to accept it. And
just due process. To be honest, they know he's a champion.
Exactly that. And from the media stream today that I was looking at, they were asking Charles if he's negotiate, because he doesn't currently have the title, but they've asked him, has he negotiated the pay-per-view points with the UFC, so he can collect the points as a champion.
Yeah.
It looks like he's done that. It looks like the UFC is granting him that, and win, lose or draw, he's going to be paid as a champion. So that's good. So it's good to get that. Let's get that out of the way. So everybody that doesn't know the backstory, they know now.
I'm hearing that for the first time, breaking news to me, because I've been busy quite. I got clips here and there from the press conference asking about Habib influence. So I got that training at the moment, but I didn't know he's going to get pay-per-view points, which is fantastic. He's the champion, to be honest. He's the champion. I don't know. I have some kind of likeness for the Habib team, but this time around I'm neutral. I don't know. Oliveira has that something. That's something special.
So do I. So do I. That makes both of us. If you look on my hat, you can see. Habib. And I'm not trying to be biased. There's no bias.
Yeah.
Because I love Charles Do Bronx. I love
Charles is so humble and
Do Bronx,
he lets his skills do the talking.
Exactly that. So let me ask you. We've spoken about Charles Do Bronx, but I want to talk more about Islam Makhachev and his rise to the point where he's at this fight right now. If he put Bobby Green away, Drew Dober, Dan Hooker, but some would say it's not for the real deal. It's not for anybody in the top 5, say, to be getting the opportunity like this. What's your take on that, and how are you feeling about Islam getting this sort of opportunity against Do Bronx?
Yeah, let me just take a look at something quickly. Yeah. Okay. Just to confirm, I want to be sure of my information. I just look up his stats. Islam is 22-1, just 1 defeat so far in his career. And to be fair to Islam, he has been calling out guys for a long time. Nobody want to take the fight. Nobody want to risk anything for Islam. The Poiriers, the Dustin Gagey of this world, he has been looking forward to fighting those guys. But they're like, no, stay behind. I got business to do. So we can't fault him now when the opportunity is there now and say, oh, he hasn't fought the likes of Dustin Poirier and all that. No, he has done what needed to be done. And I believe he's a worthy challenger or contender for the title. He deserves it, to be honest. His skill set, the whole package, I think him is and also in Dubai, UAE, that's their home. So hosting an event in October, there's no other main event than Islam, to be honest.
100%. I mean, this is their backyard, you know. And
the fans will come out to see them. The fans will come out in numbers to see Islam, Habib, and then the little guy as well, little man, the guy making waves, Hasbullah. So they're a big deal in the Middle East. So it's going to be a fascinating event.
I love the fact that Islam has stepped up to the mark now, and his English is a little bit better. Listening to him in the media scrum, because it's always been something that he wanted to improve on, and his English is that much better now. The problem that I look at in this fight, and please, we're gonna get your view as well, right? When I look at this particular fight, I look at all of Charles's previous fights, and he gets dropped a lot, right? And I've had this conversation with a couple of my friends, and when people say as he gets dropped a lot, I've just said it, he gets dropped a lot, but I can't differentiate between him getting dropped or is he tricking them to come down and do something, right? And this is the thing with Charles. You never know whether he's playing rope-a-dope with you or he's really hurt.
Maybe
for you to come and find out.
Maybe very great perspective, because sometimes you see the way he goes down and roll, get back up. baiting his opponent. You may be having a very great. I've not thought of that, but that could be possible. Very, very possible.
Exactly.
I feel he's someone who has a great heart and very determined to, like you say, like he always said, his journey from the ghetto and all that, struggling, battling with life, and getting to where he is at this point in time. Over in the UFC, some people never thought Charles would get to this point. In featherweight, he was losing, winning, losing. Now I think he has 11-5 winning streak. He has fought the who and who in UFC roster, the Jim Miller of this world, Max Holloway. The name goes on. So I think Oliveira is kind of now used to the whole thing. I'll get hit and I will still defeat you. So let's go, let's get it on. So and the fight I thought would be his toughest fight was the Gagey fight.
Yeah.
Well, I thinking will he be able to take each Gage's shot and still be there? But he almost knocked out Gage before the submission.
Yeah,
he put him down. So he has the power and also has a great submission as well, submission skills, wrestling skills.
Right. So with Islam we know as a sambo wrestler, right? If you have that sambo in you, because it's one thing just being a wrestler, but being a sambo wrestler is a whole different vibe. The chain wrestling, the thinking ahead, they're almost two free moves ahead of proper wrestlers.
Yes.
You know, and that's the thing with sambos, right? And having that in his back pocket, I don't know how much that does to Oliveira's jiu-jitsu and Oliveira's black belt in jiu-jitsu. Can you please
one of the greatest ever in the UFC?
Yeah. In your opinion, can you please explain, in your opinion, what you think the sambo skill set, does against a Brazilian jiu-jitsu skill set if it goes to the ground? Because I've heard Islam, and Islam is saying categorically, I'm looking to take him down, keep him there, tire him out, and finish him. Now, please tell us how you think the sambo thing works with.
I'll give from my casual point of view, the casual view. I'm not.
We're all casuals. We're all casuals. Tell the someone fans that's watching as well.
So that someone don't call after me and say, "What is this guy saying?" So, Islam, it could all be mind game. It could all be trick. I don't think Islam will want to risk going down with Oliveira that quick. I think he has to do some stand up a little bit. You see, the first round may end up being stand up completely. He has to engage. He has to make sure Oliveira is kind of hot in a way before going down with Oliveira. So despite the sambo wrestling, the chain wrestling, and all that, Oliveira can hurt Islam badly. If he try going down with, from my opinion, if he tries that early and he's not actually tricking the public or the audience, he may be in a bad position. Oliveira can submit him instantly, and the fight is a wrap, and that would be bad for Islam. So I think he should be very tactical. I don't think he's giving his game plan away, but I will say Oliveira's BJJ who is better than Islam sambo.
Right.
To be honest, Islam is not Habib. Let's be clear with that. Islam is not Habib, so it's a different ball. I don't know how he has developed over time. From what he has done to the last few guys, Drew Dober and other guys, but those guys also know Oliveira. Oliveira, I think in UFC so far, I think about 16 submission wins.
Yeah, he's got
have really chin chokes and rear naked chokes. So Islam could put himself in a bad position by trying to want to contest the ground game with Oliveira. So it's similar to what happened with Usman and this other guy, his friend, Gilbert Burns.
Yeah,
Usman can risk the wrestling and go down with Gilbert Burns, but he decided to let Gilbert Burns get up because he knows his pedigree. He knows when it comes to BJJ, I don't want to risk anything. So the point here is the risking. Islam may be right, and I'm kind of outclass him with the sambo. We don't know how that will work out, and that would be fantastic to see because people don't really like the ground game so much. But with these two high-level fighters, it would be great to see the skill set, the sambo wrestling, the BJJ. But little mistake, it's over. That's my take. Casual take.
Your casual take is absolutely fine with me. I mean, I look at this fight, and when I just feel there's something about Do Bronx that's scary. It's so scary because he's got hands. I see the way he dealt with Chandler. You can't to knock out someone like Chandler the way he did.
Not only Chandler alone,
bro.
Gagey.
Yes.
Gagey. Without even going for the rear naked choke, I believe he would have been able to knock out. Gagey was already done after that right hand. So, but he just felt, let me play safe, go for the neck and submit this guy, and because Gagey can also recover. We don't know how hot he was in that fight, but never underestimate Charles Oliveira's hand as well, his striking. And maybe that's another reason Islam is a bit worried. I will go straight to the ground. I'll not risk standing with Charles, because I believe Charles has better power, has more power on his hand than Islam, to be honest. I've not seen Islam also guy so much with his hand. So
exactly that. You know, I'm going to say one more thing before we move on to the next fight. And this is just to highlight my absolute respect for Charles Do Bronx.
Yeah.
All right. I did not want him to see Khabib before Khabib hung it up. And I was glad him and Khabib never got. This is how much I love Khabib so much that I didn't want Charles Oliveira to even get to Khabib before Khabib could hang it all up and say, I'm done. Because if Charles was the only one, in my opinion, that I thought could always present a proper risk for Khabib's you know, unbeaten win. And I just feel Charles is that good.
I think that's where we differ a little bit. I want to see that fight so badly, because Khabib legacy will not be complete no matter what. Maybe in the next 20 years we will see and evaluate again.
Yeah.
If God spare our life and we're here, and see where Khabib is placed at that time. And also before that as well, if Islam can make a quick work of Oliveira, Khabib will still be recognized. Oh, I think that guy is one of the greatest. Islam is his boy. So they still chance. But now at the moment, people are saying Khabib never fought anybody. So they kind of trying to look at his Russian victory as kind of start padding. Yeah, like he's just he didn't fight anybody apart from Conor, Dustin Poirier, and Gage, which I feel are also good record. But the way Charles is making it look easy, he already has Poirier, Gage, Chandler. So imagine adding Islam to it. So Habib will be nowhere on that list.
Should we start
thinking that fight?
Should we start thinking about Charles Oliveira as a lightweight GOAT?
Yeah.
Given what he's done.
Yeah.
He's got the most finishes.
Yeah.
The most submissions. Given what he's done.
If you want to be honest, if it was an African, I would be saying, oh, this guy is greatest of all time. If it's a Middle East guy or a Russian or American guy, but the Brazilians are not given enough credit, apart from Jose Aldo, who most guys regard as the GOAT. Oliveira should be. Look at his record. Just look at the list. The number of people this guy has compiled. The 25 Ferguson. Forget about 25 Ferguson is the guy most people saw as a threat to Khabib. He made 25 Ferguson look so easy. Also, the 25 Ferguson out of his prime as well. I think he should retire soon. So I think we need to say that fight. I don't know. I want to kind of play like matchmaking or kind of fantasize like Dana White normally do. I won't say it if I'm not predicting, I'm not choosing, I'm not picking side. But if Oliveira defeats Islam, I want something that will trigger Habib to come back and want a revenge. I don't think it's possible. So I will see that fight.
I swear to you, the way I'm looking at it, I think people need to start putting some more respect.
No, he deserves it. Yeah,
he definitely deserves it. 100%. Let's move on to the next fight on the card, the co-main event: Aljamain Sterling versus TJ Dillashaw. Now, this one here is it's another one that's close to my heart, because when Aljamain Sterling, when he first won the title by that DQ, a lot of people gave him backlash. I was one of the people that was backing him up, like, rules are rules.
Yeah.
Yan broke the rules within the fight. You can't, the refs come to you, you get the fighter meeting, they tell you about the rules, you're a professional mixed martial, you know the rules. You can't need somebody in the head when they're grounded. And that's exactly what he did, and Aljamain Sterling is deserved champion. I think the acting or whatever else is what really got on people's nerves afterwards, right? But for me, I thought it was the deserved champion, and I said at the time, on the preview shows that I did that he was going to win the second fight. I said it at the time. He came back and he did that, got rid of all the paper champion that people were calling him. Now, fast forward, he's got TJ Dillashaw in front of him that's coming back off a 2-year ban, and he's only fought Corey Sandhagen. And Corey Sandhagen is a man that he knows because they were teammates, right?
Yeah.
So and I like TJ before the whole drug situation. I didn't even think he won that fight against Corey Sandhagen. I thought it was a close fight. It could have gone either way. But I don't even think I won. I gave it to Sandhagen by decision. So that's how razor thin it was. How do you see this fight panning out between both guys because of the skill set that they have? Because we know what Aljamain Sterling is coming to do. But what about Dillashaw? And how do you see it going?
Okay, I don't know if you don't mind me going by a little bit on speaking on something you just mentioned.
Please.
So you talked about the whole scenario Aljamain Sterling, and I'm happy he won the second fight because people were calling him actor, he deserved the Oscar and all that. They call him different names, but I believe he did the right thing, even if he's acting, because this world sometimes you can't please people. There's something people need to know out there. Whether you're watching your audience, you're a creator, you are doing something, you can't please everybody. Just do your part, because the same thing is happening to Anthony Smith at the moment. He was injured. He could have taken the DQ and win the belt, and maybe his career will take another part, and maybe get a rematch with John Jones. But he wanted to form a hard guy. Okay, this is what they call it in MMA.
That's a great point.
It's what they call it in MMA. That I'm trying to show that I'm a warrior. I don't know the word. It's what I'm missing the word. He's a warrior. He will fight through the whole thing. He doesn't want to take a DQ title. But I bet you now, the whole MMA community, the whole MMA fighters now around the world, not only UFC, the fighters have learned from Aljamain now.
Yeah.
All of them will go for DQ win from now on, because they only got someone to make that breakthrough. Because the fans till today are still going back to flag Anthony Smith. You could have been a champion today.
Yeah.
You could have taken the DQ win. Look at your career today. So who are you pleasing? Aljamain take the DQ, you flag him, you bash him. Anthony Smith went to the DQ, his career is not going straight, you guys are coming after him. So I never did do what works for you. So that's one.
Yeah.
TJ Dillashaw, like you mentioned, it was a close fight with Corey Sandhagen. I felt Corey Sandhagen won that fight, in my opinion. And I think TJ needs another fight, in my opinion. Maybe because he's an ex-champion and he's being granted an opportunity to bounce back, which the UFC try to do at times. I think Dana I have that soft spot for TJ. That's what I think. He has that soft spot for TJ. But after a 2-year ban, failing drug tests and all that, you need to work your way back. At least 2 to 3 fights or 2 fights, then get back. But just returning, defeating Sandhagen. Although Sandhagen was a contender, we know that. But I believe he should have fight one more fight, and maybe the kind of likes of PTN, and then get the title shot. But it is what it is. So I'm not going to complain. It's also a good matchup. And now to your question. Now, sorry, I went.
No. Please, you have the floor.
To your question, I believe it's going to be a very, very high level fight. It's going to be a good fight. And up to now, people still underrate Aljamain Sterling, despite what he did to Yan. He dominated the fight in most of the round. I think 3 rounds in that 3 rounds. So he won by split decision, right? So people are underrating his wrestling. They don't know this guy is a beast. People are still seeing Dillashaw as the favorite. In the fans' eye, I don't know how I'm not a betting guy, so I don't know how the betting odds work or how it looks like. So people are seeing Dillashaw to be a guy that will bounce back. And somebody saying he's now back with the EPO again. so people are trolling the guy. So it's going to be a good one. And I think Aljamain will win again. Split decision maybe. And he will dominate on the ground. I don't think he's going to stand with Dillashaw. So I don't know how good Dillashaw. We don't know how the version of Dillashaw we're going to see. But if it's Dillashaw that showed up against Sandhagen, Aljamain will win easy. He will run through Dillashaw. He will make him easy work because Aljamain has improved over time. People still look at his loss, the head kick loss. I've forgotten the guy. He's now retired, the Brazilian guy. people still look at Aljamain with that same eye, but they don't know this guy is on a 5 or 6 fight winning streak after them, and he has defeated top opponents to make. So I think Aljamain will is going to win either split decision or UD on Saturday. Yeah, that's my take.
That's your
What
take.
about you? What about you? What do you think?
Yeah. I like your take, and I'm near it. I'm near your take. Dillashaw, I just think it presents different kind of problem. His movement, you know the way Dominic Cruz moves around.
Yeah.
For me, I think he does it better than Dominic Cruz. And Dominic Cruz probably invented that move. You know, Cody Garbrandt tried to copy it a little bit. TJ Dillashaw is the one that, made it look good. And Dominic Cruz, I think, invented that fit work there. Now, having said all of that, TJ Dillashaw he's still got to win the respect of the fans because of how things happen, and then losing to Henry Cejudo the way he did. You know, you can't go and take drugs to help you and then lose the way you do, you know. So he's got to earn that respect back. And I don't think that Corey Sandhagen fight is enough because some people don't even think he won that fight. So imagine the respect level. He's got to do way more than that to even start looking to earn that respect. And that's why I think a lot of people are looking at Aljamain here. Now, Aljamain, for me, I like him a lot. I like his skill set, the way he approaches the fight, the way he approaches the game. He has a game plan and he sticks to it. Whether that game plan then sees him through a fight or not is a whole different thing. But I like the way he sticks to the game plan. And I'm sure he's gonna have a proper game plan here for TJ Dillashaw. Someone says here, big up Afro Thunder, by the way. He says TJ Dillashaw. You know, everybody's got all different kind of, you know, they're calling him Pillar Shaw, they're calling him Needle Shaw, as you say. You know, they got all different kind of names for TJ nowadays, man. I think Aljo goes out there. I actually think he'll finish him. I think he gets his back, and I think he wraps him up. And I think TJ Dillashaw, he's got some wrestling background, but nowhere near what Aljo is gonna bring. Nowhere near what Aljo is gonna bring, and that's why I think you know.
And
Aljo
also for me, I consider TJ and Dominic Cruz and Cody. I feel their time is kind of up. Yeah. They cannot compete like they used to the last 5 years. That's what I'm saying. We don't know the version of TJ that will turn up on Saturday, because if it's the same guy that showed up against Cody, I don't think he'll be able to withstand Aljamain pressure and grappling as well.
Okay, let's move on to the next fight. The next fight on the card is Petr Yan, the man that Aljo's just put away, against Sean O'Malley. Now, Sean O'Malley is ranked number 12 and is fighting the number 1 contender, or the number 1, at least number 1 or number 2 in the rankings. Like Petr Yan, he was interim champion up until his last fight. So I still look at him as the number 1 contender for that division. Now, what have you made of Sean O'Malley's rise in the UFC? Do you think he's fast? Do you think they've propelled him, or do you think he took it slow enough to the point where they can give him a matchup like this? And how do you think it works out?
I think they've done it always, like you mentioned. They took it slow and now taking it too fast. That's how I put it. Because they want, from day one, from the contender series, we knew a rising star is here. And they are not trying to gamble like they did with Hamza Chimaev, and it worked, even though it was also a big risk. So they're trying to also gamble with, and I think the guy is also a confident guy. Sean O'Malley is a confident guy, a good fighter as well, a good stand-up guy. The thing about it is that they kind of gave him easy fights. Not so easy, because the division is also a tough division, bantamweight division. The killers are there. So well, I think fights that are winnable fights for him. We saw what happened with Marlon Vera. Even though most people felt he was doing well before he got his leg injured and all that. I still believe Marlon Vera will have how do they call it in MMA? Kind of make him look kind of average in that fight after the fight. Just like what happened with Gilbert Burns and Chimaev. So people now look Chimaev as, oh, he's not that killer that we thought he
you just
So the same thing is going to happen this time around as well. I think they are rushing him too far. I know he wants the fight. He wants to be in that conversation, and they feel in that division, the UFC is a business as well. They're looking at everything. They want everything to play out perfectly well. Financial point of view, matchmaking point of view. So we cannot have a star, a rising star, a guy who can actually bring good numbers, sell pay-per-views, rank number 12. So how do we get him up here? How do we put him in the top 5 spot? So no better way to do this than matching him with Yan. But the problem is that they are matching with someone more than he can, like biting more than he can chew, like they say. So I don't think he's going to be able to defeat Yan. Yan is coming this time around to kind of also make a statement after losing a split decision victory, after losing to Aljamain via split decision.
Yeah.
And like you say, he was interim champion at a point in time. He lost his title, and now he cannot let a fighter like Sean O'Malley. No disrespect to Sean O'Malley. You get, because if you to Sean O'Malley, it's kind of almost relegating Peter Yan to number 12 in a way. Not realistically. We know it will happen.
Yeah.
That's how it looks like mathematically on paper.
Yeah.
If number 12 guy take your spot, you're going down to 12.
Yeah.
So I don't think if O'Malley can get the victory, that would be fantastic. That would be incredible. It would be dollar for UFC. It will be money in the account, and also for the guy as well.
Yeah.
But can he beat Peter Yan? Can he? He's not a wrestler. He's a light guy as well. He's a guy I believe Peter Yan will take down and dominate. He's not going to be a stand-up clinic like people are anticipating. The footwork, the movement. O'Malley has done well, but I don't think he's that guy. To be honest, I don't know if I'm saying the right things.
No.
I'm breaking the fight properly, but he's a lanky guy and a guy that the top bantamweight will take him down easy. The likes of Aljamain will make light work of O'Malley. The likes of Peter Yan. The likes of Marlon Vera again. Marlon Vera that fought him is not the same Marlon Vera now.
Yeah.
You also saw what he did to Dominic Cruz. So Marlon Vera and Sean O'Malley again. I wish they did that fight. Because I believe Peter Yan is even going to put a beating on O'Malley than even Marlon Vera will do. So I see a dominant victory for Peter Yan. He was going to win either by stoppage or by decision. I don't see O'Malley coming close in this one. It's possible. It's a fight game. Anything can happen, but my prediction, Peter Yan in this fight.
Yeah, I want to echo a lot of what you said. Some will even say that Munoz was winning that fight before the eye poke against Sean O'Malley. Some will even say that.
But the last guy, the newcomer, the Portuguese guy, I can't remember the name, the guy that fought him that came on a short notice. He almost made the fight. He brought the fans to his. Let me see if I can.
Chris Montinho.
Chris Montinho, yeah, the guy did well. He came on a short notice, and he was kind of, although O'Malley dominated, but you can tell he was like, has the heart of a fighter. He was there to show up. He wasn't just there to just participate and go, but he gave him a good fight as well. And you could see toward the end of the fight, O'Malley looked tired, like, who is this guy? I thought it was going to be light work, easy work for me, but this guy is trying to make it difficult for me. So can he withstand a better fighter, bring in better pressure? A talented guy, a top 5 fighter? Because for me, I still feel O'Malley should be in the top 10, maybe around number 8 by now. No doubt about that, but not fighting the number 2, number 3 guy at this point in time. They should have continued with the start padding, give him the easy fights, and then work him his way to top 10, and then now feed him with Marlon Vera rematch, and all those fights. So let's see what happens.
I believe I know of a guy in that division that I think, and when I say we, I'm saying MMA Twitter, and I'm very, very big on MMA Twitter. We campaigned for that fight. We campaigned for it a lot. It just didn't get there. And I'm talking about Adrian Yanez, and I think that fight between both of those guys, because Sugar Sean was entertaining it. He spoke about it a lot on his show because he also has a YouTube channel, Sugar Sean, and he was entertaining it. And if the UFC put it together, then why not?
Yeah.
Dante, yeah, salute to you, Dante. And this is the thing. I feel the jump is too much.
Yeah.
You know, the jump is way too high, and Peter Yan didn't just end up there
Yeah.
by accident.
No.
Like, this guy is a savage, and is one of the toughest guys in the division to beat. End of. And I know, all right, Sean might have one or two attributes, maybe, you know, especially with his body type. But I think that body type suits Peter Yan so well. People are not recognizing it. Yan loves to rip to the body. He loves to fight in the pocket. Like, it reminds me, because he was whooping on Aljamain Sterling in the first fight. He was beating him up so badly.
Yes.
Up until the illegal
The
knee.
moment, sure.
You know, he was beating him up. And I feel like Aljamain has the same type of body type that Sean O'Malley has. And I think it will suit. The only difference now, and the only problem now for Yan, no, for Sean O'Malley is that I don't think it has that wrestling pedigree that Aljo possesses, which is what was used to neutralize Peter Yan. But if it's a stand-up thing, Peter Yan is got some hands. He's got some hands. Adrian, yeah, go on, please.
Sorry, I'm going to make a big prediction. Some of the fans will not like it. O'Malley fans.
Let's get
O'Malley may end up turning out to be the next Kevin Holland. You saw what happened with Kevin Holland. When he came to the wrestling, he was dominated, and the world got to know this guy isn't that good. He's good only when it comes to stand-up. He's not that. So maybe after the fight, Peter Yan will send him back to Russia to go learn wrestling. Maybe, because we've not seen him we've not seen him on the ground. We've not seen, he has not been tested, to be honest. Like you mentioned, the jump is too. I just look up the rankings while you were explaining.
Yeah,
he's the number one contender. Peter Yan is number one. Behind, I thought he was 2 or 3. He's behind Aljamain Sterling.
Right when I was saying
imagine number 12 going against number 1. It's hardly done in the UFC. So let's see.
It's a big jump. But look, it's a big jump. Look, for someone like Sugar Sean, you're never going to turn down being offered number 1, whether you win, lose, or draw. It's a win-win situation for him. Regardless, he can rebuild and come back up. He's still young. He's got time. He can just go back to the people in and around his rankings and fight those guys till he gets back up there.
You know why? It's not a win-win situation.
Yeah, please.
It can go bad for him as well. If he was taking legitimate defeats, like Oliveira did, losing, bouncing back, winning, and he got to this point, we'll say, oh, that's fantastic. Number 1 guy, you lose, no shame in losing. But O'Malley himself has failed to accept defeat. To Marlon Vera, he was saying, I'm still undefeated. So once you have that kind of mentality and you're fighting nobody, you feel kind of this entitlement to, like, I'm still the guy, I'm that guy. And so a defeat to when you survive, if he suffer a defeat to Yan, how does he bounce back? Is he going to be able to face the world? Although he seems to be a confident guy, that's what I like about him. He has a stock show as well, his podcast. So he's someone that can come out and say, yeah, it's a defeat, I'll bounce back. But depending on what Yan is going to expose on that day, on that night, because a lot of fighters will be like, oh, okay, I can see what's happening here. Okay, because they are watching the bantamweight, whole bantamweight we're watching this. I think the card is meant for bantamweight because most of the fights are bantamweight fights. So they're watching and say, okay, so this O'Malley guy is not who he think he is. Yeah, I know his weak point. I'll come after him. So guys will be calling him out after that. So similar to happen to Kevin Holland, but like I said, never say never. O'Malley can also go in there, knock out Peter Yan, and become the guy, the next number 1 contender to fight Aljamain, or the winner, the title holder at that time. It's possible. Because I think it's a number 1 contender fight, obviously. The winner will face the champion.
Fantastic. Let's get on to Beneil Dariush, because I'm very, very conscious of time and your preparation for your next show. Let's talk about that Beneil Dariush and Gamrot real quick. All right, Gamrot is 21-1. Dariush 21-4. Dariush is a competitor that I respect a lot. And I don't even think he gets any kind of recognition that he's supposed to get. I don't even think he gets the flowers that he's supposed to be getting. But Dariush is somebody that I respect a lot. I respect his craft, and I think he's one of the most underrated lightweights in the division. But Mateusz Gamrot he presents a different problem.
Mm.
These guys, how do you see these guys play? How do you see it panning out? What do you see happening? Where is it won and lost between these guys?
This is a tough one. I will not lie to you. I have not researched much about Gamrot. I know Benel Derouche was supposed to fight Islam Makhachev recently, and the fight, he got injured, I think, or something happened. He pulled out of the fight. So most people are looking at Benel to be like the favorite or the real test for Islam before a title fight. So obviously Benel, like you say, he's not getting enough credit that he deserves. And against Gamrot is going to be a tough fight. I think Gamrot is a Polish guy. I don't know much about him, to be honest.
He's riding a 4-fight win streak.
Sorry, I didn't get that.
Yeah, he's riding a 4-fight win streak, and his last win was against Sarukian by decision.
And it's a good matchup. It's a good fight. So I also think he fought at KSW as well. I don't know if he was a champion at KSW in Poland.
Yeah, he was.
So it's going to be a good fight. I don't know how to go about breaking this fight down, but it's going to be an entertaining fight. A good lightweight fight, a fight that will also bring out a contender in the division. So, but if I'm to pick, just not breaking fight, just prediction, I think Benil Derouche is a better fighter, or has more experience, has fought better competition, and I think he is going to maybe win the fight by decision. That's my prediction. It's a tough one, but I don't know how to really go about breaking this particular. I don't know much about Gamrot. I've not followed his career that much.
I get it. With Gamrot is he's a fantastic fighter, has some proper wrestling pedigree, and he can take the fight to the ground. He can stand up. He's got hands, and so's Benil. Benil's well-rounded. He's probably one of the most well-rounded lightweights that we have in the division. He really is that good. But for me, I just think I'm gonna say this now. Benil by submission. I think Benil wraps him up. I think he chokes him out. I think in one of them entries, Gamrot is gonna shoot, try and get a takedown, and that would be the end of the night for Gamrot. I'm gonna go for a second round submission by Benil Dawood. And I think Benil is gonna be pissed off being on this card, knowing that he's supposed to be facing Islam, and now he's gonna want to make a statement with this guy. Because that would have been the title eliminator between him and Islam, and whoever won that fight was going to go and see the champion. And I think Benil is going to want to make a statement. You know what? I'll even go for round one submission for Benil Darouche.
That's a bold prediction. I still see a decision because, like I said, I felt Benil has fought better opposition and much more experienced fighter than Gamrot. If you remember, Gamrot also lost to Goram sometimes back. I can't remember the fight. And his big win was against this new guy. I can't remember the name. There's a guy he fought recently. Trying to pick up the guy he fought, Gamrot. He fought this guy also, very, very talented guy, Arman. I don't know if you know the guy.
Arman
Sarukan.
Yeah.
So I think that's what brought him to more of limelight. Who is this Gamrot guy? So that fight actually pushed him up there. So, but he has lost to some kind of the fight you expected him to win. So I think Benil will use his experience, like you said, use his wrestling as well, and maybe submit. But maybe also a stand-up fight, and also Benil winning by decision. So it's a good fight, good matchup as well. Number 6 against number 9, perfectly matched by the UFC.
Yeah, man. I'm definitely looking forward to that fight. I'm looking forward to the whole card. And people, come join us for the preview. We're going to be having another preview with me, my co-host Will, and Jordan Wright on Friday night, 10 o'clock. Don't forget to join us for that one. And if you look right, scrolling under the bottom of the screen, we have our merch, our official merch. If you want hoodies, hats, shirts, we got it all. Phone cases, it's all on there on the www.thefightweekshow.com. Go over there and support the show. Paying for StreamYard is not cheap every month. So yeah, every time that you go on there, you'll be supporting the Fight Week show directly. And thank you to everybody that's watched us live, everyone that's watched us on playback. Salute to all of you. And furthermore, thank you to our esteemed guest here, Mr. Farouk. And you know, like we spoke, I'll be returning the favor, and I'll be coming on the African show. I'll be bringing my people with me, and we're gonna come and light it up on the African show for 281. 281, you said?
Yeah, 281.
Yeah. And consider it done. We're gonna be there. And thank you so much for your time today, man.
Thank you very much.
Fantastic. I know you've got to go. So is there anything you want to plug? Any you want to plug your show? Please let our people come and
support us on YouTube at the African Fighters, and also on Instagram, the African Fighters as well. Mostly African content, African fighters, that's the focus, but we'll cover other fighters as well. So sometimes people think we're just only focusing on Africa and these guys are biased and all that. We're just trying to create that niche and also kind of profile, no enough spotlight on African fighters. So that's the reason behind that platform, to kind of showcase African talent to the world.
100%. And we're always support African fighters anyways, you know what I mean? On here, we do for African fighters, we do for everyone, but you know what? We love African fighters, man. And we love your show. I've been a fan of your show for a long time. You know, I know. And thank you, please, everybody that's watching.
Day one as well.
For real. Everybody that's watching, please go subscribe to the African Fighters. Go show them some love. Everybody from the Fight Week show, go show them some love over there, man. These are good people. They're doing good work for the MMA community. And there's no better way to be MMA ambassadors like how they're doing it. So salute to you. We really appreciate what you've been doing, man. And it's been a fantastic show. Thank you very much for coming through. And up onto the next show. Hasta la vista, people. Salute.
Can't wait to be on the next.
Yo, guys, this is Adrian Yanez telling you to use those handles. Hit, click, like, and subscribe. Fuck yeah, dudes. If y'all